Hello, and welcome to the Inner Compass. I want you to take a look at your savings account right now. For most of us, it's just one big number, and inside that one number is a chaotic mix of different goals and intentions. There's a little bit of your emergency fund in there, some money you're vaguely saving for a holiday, maybe some cash for a new laptop, and the money you hope to one day use for a down payment on a house. It's the financial equivalent of a junk drawer. Everything is thrown in together, and because it's a jumble, it creates confusion and guilt. When you spend money from it on a holiday, a part of you feels guilty, wondering, should I have saved this for an emergency instead? When you need to buy a new car, you might have to drain the entire account, wiping out the progress you've made on all your other goals. It's a reactive, stressful way to manage your money. What if there was a way to bring order to this chaos? A way to save for all of your different life goals simultaneously, with clarity, purpose, and zero guilt? There is, and today, we are going to explore one of the most practical and powerful financial strategies you can implement: designing sinking funds. Now, the name sounds a bit negative. I know, but I want you to reframe it. Don't think of it as a sinking fund. Think of it as a goal-achieving fund, or an intentional savings fund. Over the next hour, I'm going to give you the complete, step-by-step blueprint to design a system of sinking funds that will revolutionize how you save for your big life goals, from a new phone to your first home. Part 1. The philosophy: why sinking funds are your secret weapon. Before we get into the how-to, let's understand the deep why. Why is this simple strategy so transformative? It comes down to 3 core psychological and strategic benefits. First, and most importantly for a new investor, it protects your long-term investments. This is a critical concept. Your long-term investments, like the index funds in your Roth IRA or 401k, are for your future self. 20, 30, 40 years from now, they need time to compound and grow. The biggest mistake a new investor can make is to raid these long-term investments to pay for a medium-term goal. Like a wedding or a car, a sinking fund acts as a firewall. It's a dedicated pool of cash that ensures you never have to sell your stocks at the wrong time, protecting your wealth-building engine. Second, it turns vague wishes into concrete plans. We all have wishes. I'd love to travel more. It would be nice to get a new car someday. These are not goals, they are dreams. A sinking fund forces you to get specific. The wish, I want to travel more, becomes the plan. I am saving $300 a month for my Japan 2027 trip. This act of naming the goal and assigning a specific savings amount to it transforms it from a fantasy into a project in progress. It makes it real. And third, it completely eliminates spending guilt. This is where the magic really happens. When you finally book that big holiday or buy that new car using money from its dedicated sinking fund, you can do so with 100% joy and zero guilt. Why? Because you know that this spending has no impact on your emergency fund, your retirement accounts, or your other savings goals. That money had one job, and it did it perfectly. This allows you to truly enjoy the fruits of your labor without the nagging feeling that you should be doing something more responsible with your money. Let me tell you the tale of 2 holidays. Impulsive Ivan sees a great deal on flights to Hawaii and books a $4 trip on his credit card. He tells himself he'll pay it off later. He has a great time, but he comes home to a cloud of debt. For the next year, every credit card payment is a stressful reminder of his impulsive decision. Planner Paula also wants to go to Hawaii. She decides this is her goal for next year. She creates a Hawaii holiday sinking fund and sets up an automatic transfer of $333 a month. A year later, she has the cash. She books the exact same trip as Ivan. She has just as much fun. But when she comes home, her only souvenir is a suntan, not a stressful debt. She feels proud and in control. That is the power of a sinking fund. Part 2. The Blueprint: Designing Your Sinking Fund System. Alright, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps to build your own sinking fund engine. I recommend grabbing a pen and paper for this part. Step 1. The brainstorm. Identify and categorize your goals. The first step is a creative one. You need to dream a little. Write down every single significant expense you can see coming in your future. From 1 year to 10 years from now. Don't worry about affordability yet. Just get it all down on paper. Now, let's categorize them. Short-term sinking funds, 1 to 2 years. These are for frequent, predictable expenses. Examples: annual holiday, Christmas and birthday gifts, car registration and insurance, a new phone or laptop. Medium-term sinking funds, 2 to 5 years. These are for your bigger life goals. Examples: a down payment on a house, a wedding, a new, or new to you, car, a major home renovation. Long-term irregular sinking funds, 5+ years. These are for big, infrequent but inevitable expenses. Examples: needing to replace the roof on your house in 10 years. A major milestone anniversary trip, like a 10-year anniversary, or even a fund for your future children's education. Step 2. The goal math. Give every goal a number. Now we turn those goals into a concrete plan. For each goal you listed, you need to answer 2 questions. Target amount. How much money do you need? Be realistic. Research the cost. Target date. When do you need the money? The math is simple. Target amount divided by the number of months equals your monthly contribution. Let's walk through an example. Goal: a reliable used car. Target amount: $15. Target date: in 3 years, 36 months. The math: $15 per 36 months equals $417 per month. Suddenly, the overwhelming goal of saving for a car becomes a clear, actionable monthly target. Do this for all of your top priority goals. Step 3. The bucket setup. Choosing the right bank account. This is the technical setup, and it's easier than you think. You need to create separate buckets for your sinking funds. The best way to do this is to open a high-yield savings account, HYSA. Preferably at a different online bank than your main checking account. This separation creates a psychological barrier that makes it harder to dip into your savings impulsively. Now, here's the magic feature. Most modern online banks, like Ally or Marcus in the US, or Ubank or ING in Australia, allow you to create multiple named sub-accounts, pots, or spaces, within your single HYSA. This is the key. You don't need to open 10 different bank accounts. You open one HYSA and then create and name your digital buckets inside it. You would log into your app and see. Emergency fund, $10. Car fund, $4.560. Japan 2027 trip, $2.100. Wedding fund, $8.900. This visual separation is incredibly motivating. Step 4. Automate everything. Set it and forget it. This is the final and most crucial step to making the system work. You are going to automate the funding of your buckets. Go into your primary checking account's online portal. For each sinking fund, set up a recurring, automatic transfer that goes out the day after you get paid. $417 goes to the car fund bucket. $200 goes to the Japan 2027 trip bucket, etc. You set this up once, and your financial goals are now being funded automatically in the background. You have built your engine. Let me tell you about James and Lily. They were a couple in their early 30s, both with good jobs, but they always felt financially chaotic. They were saving money, but it was just one big pile in a savings account. They wanted to travel, buy a house, and get married, but it all felt overwhelming. They spent one Sunday afternoon doing this exact blueprint. They listed the goals, did the math, and opened a joint HYSA with named buckets. They automated the transfers. James told me that for the first time in their relationship, the constant, low-level anxiety about money just disappeared. They had a plan. They were a team. Their sinking fund system didn't just organize their money, it strengthened their partnership. Part 4. The Sinking Fund FAQ. Answering your big questions. Now, whenever I discuss this system, a few excellent questions always come up. Let's tackle them head on. Question 1. Where does my emergency fund fit into this? Your emergency fund is the most important sinking fund of all. It is priority 0. Before you start aggressively funding a holiday or a wedding, you must have at least 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses saved in a dedicated, sacred emergency fund bucket. This is your foundation. Build it first. Question 2. This is great, but I can't afford to save for all these goals at once. What do I do? This is where the power of prioritization comes in. You don't have to fund every goal equally all the time. Rank your goals. What is most important to you right now? Maybe for the next 2 years, you decide to be aggressive. 80% of your savings capacity goes to the house deposit fund, and only 20% is split between your other, smaller goals. Once you've achieved that big goal, you can reallocate that cash flow to the next priority on your list. Question 3. Should I invest my sinking fund money to get a better return? This is a critical question, and my answer for any goal that is 5 years away or less is almost always a firm no. Why? The stock market is too volatile in the short term. The purpose of a sinking fund is capital preservation and availability. You need to know that 100% of that money will be there when you need it. Imagine you invested your house deposit money, and the market crashes by 20% right when you find your dream home. The risk is simply not worth the potential reward for short to medium-term goals. Keep this money safe in a high-yield savings account. Question 4. What happens if I get a bonus or a tax refund? This is the fun part. A windfall is an opportunity to accelerate your goals. You can use that money to top up any of your sinking funds. You could fully fund your entire holiday goal in one go, or take a huge chunk out of your house deposit target. It's your choice, because you have a clear system that shows you exactly where you stand with all your goals. So we've built the entire blueprint, from brainstorming your dreams to the technical setup of your automated savings engine. I want to leave you with this final thought. Sinking funds are so much more than just a clever savings strategy. They are a tool for intentional living. They are the physical bridge between your abstract dreams for the future and the concrete actions you take today. Every automated transfer, no matter how small, is a vote for your future self. It's a quiet declaration of your priorities. It's a small, consistent act of building the life you truly want to live. So stop letting your big life goals be a source of vague anxiety and wishful thinking. Become the architect of your future. Design the blueprint, set up the system, and then relax, knowing that your financial engine is quietly and reliably building your dreams in the background. 1 month at a time. My challenge to you today is this. What is the number 1 big goal you are going to create a sinking fund for after listening to this episode? Name it. Share it in the comments below. The act of writing it down makes it real. Thank you for your time and for taking this powerful step in designing your life.